I wanted to make two pizza dough balls today, and my recipe using this pizza app is two balls with each weighing 250 grams with 75% water. No added fats or oils, just 2% salt, because I think that 3% maybe is too much, and I will always add more salt to the pizza if I want to. I also use Parmesan, which is salty, so no need for that. 2% is enough. Then I have 6 hours of leavening. That's because I make the dough and let it rest for 2 hours outside in room temperature, 21 degrees Celsius. And after 2 hours, I will put it in the fridge. And when I take it out of the fridge and shape it up to a round ball, I will let it rest for 4 hours outside. So that's why I have 6 hours here. And then I have 72 hours of cold temperature leavening, which essentially is just my refrigerator at 4 degrees Celsius. That's 3 days. When you use 3 days, you need to have a really strong flour, and I use the red Caputo, which is which has an extreme strength, so I can do that. For my recipe, I'm using instant dry yeast. I'm using 282 grams of flour, 212 grams of water, 5.6 grams of salt, and 0.17 grams of yeast. I have measured out everything: dry yeast, salt, flour. I have used red Caputo and water. What I will do next is I will put all of my dry yeast in the bowl like this, and then I put flour in to the water, and I'm just going to mix it a little bit together like this, and I will then add salt in as the final product, because yeast and salt are not happy together. And here goes the salt. And I'm just going to mix this a little bit together until it gets workable with hands, because it will be too sticky otherwise. Now everything is mixed well together, and I can work it by hand on my workbench. I like to do it by hand because I can feel the dough, and I can feel when the dough is tight and well kneaded. And I will not knead any more than 8 minutes by hand. If you're using a dough machine, be careful to knead doughs specifically, small batches, because a machine is very good at kneading. So if you knead for more than 4 minutes with a machine, you may damage the gluten network, and you may experience that your dough is very sticky and very liquid and doesn't have a nice smooth surface. And because of that, you may think that you need to knead the dough more, but in reality you're just breaking more down of the gluten network. So yeah, when you work with doughs that are this sticky like this, I use the slab and fold technique. Essentially just means pick it up and slap it. Pick it up the other way and slap it down like this. In this way it will not stick too bad to my hands, but I will still be able to work the dough and knead it. And already it's forming up and it's not sticking to my workbench. So approximately I kneaded the dough for 5 minutes by hand, and the dough couldn't gain more strength, so I just stopped kneading the dough because otherwise I would just break down the gluten network that I just developed. Some people might think that you should work the dough until it gets really you can do the window pane test, where you can stretch out the dough and perform a gluten test. But in reality, I can't do that now, because although I have created the strong gluten network, you need to let it rest so that this gluten network can absorb all the water from the dough, and actually it will get more stronger as it just rests. So now I will just fold it up in a little ball, and from there I will let it rest 20 to 30 minutes and I will get back. So now I will shape up the dough in a ball so that the gluten will all go in one direction and tighten the ball. And I'm just using my 90-degree turn and pull against myself technique. When you rest the dough, make sure to seal it tight. And I'm using this kind of flexible lid. And that way I'm not using any plastic film, which is not good for the environment. So yeah, now I will let it rest for 20 to 30 minutes and I will get back. So now this dough has rested for 20 minutes, and that's enough rest time. I will give it some strength by rolling it up, and this is the way I do it. This will be really sticky as it's 75%, but also look how when this dough has rested, it's more elastic now, and that's because the gluten network have had time to absorb all the water, and it can absorb more water, but this is just the start, and I will show you. So as you can see, when I take this dough, I will just wet my fingers with the water, because then it will not stick to my fingers, and I will show you the window pane test that this dough has actually become stronger now that it has rested. So look at this window pane test. My fingers are visible now, so this is a good sign that this dough has developed some incredible gluten. Look, it's just like a sheet. My fingers were visible through the dough, so that's an indication that this dough has the required strength in the gluten that we want. So that's what I wanted to tell, that you don't need to over knead the dough because you think that, oh, it's too grainy and it's not shiny on top and elastic. And that's because you need to rest it. Rest, rest, rest. So now I will fold it up and I will show you my technique and I will put it to rest again. And 20 minutes rest and then I will fold it up again. So yeah. So as it's being folded up, it's getting less sticky and incredible structure on the outside. Just look at it, how amazing it looks. So that's the secret. 90-degree turn, pull against yourself, 90-degree pull against yourself, like that, rest, done. So now again, 20 to 30 minutes have passed. So I will show you again how I will fold it up, and once again show the window pane test and just confirm that the dough is getting stronger and stronger each time we fold it up and let it rest. So boom. A little bit of water on your hands can be used in order for the dough not to stick so bad to your fingers. Like that. Window pane test, water again. So the shadows of my fingers are behind. So this is just amazing, really amazing. Just look how thin it is. But yeah, so again, let's just fold it up a little bit. Again, I use my technique as shown before. You can think of it like these gluten networks. You can think of them like strings, wires, polymers. They have some strings. So if you are going to roll it fast, you may damage some of the glutens on top because they are stretched too fast and they can't move so quickly, so they just rupture. So sometimes maybe it's good actually to just do it slowly so that they can, the gluten can follow with the speed of the stretch. But all in all, this looks amazing. I'm putting it inside again, and I'm just going to let it rest once again. So this is my third and last stretch and fold I will do. And after I'm done with this, I will just put it in my fridge. And the dough has rested for approximately 2 hours outside in room temperature. So yeah, and this is my recipe. It's when I mix it all up and I have a nice ball, It just needs to stay outside in a total of approximately 2 hours. And that's together with all the stretching and resting. That's a part of it. So I will do it now. And the dough is ready. Now I will just put it inside the refrigerator, and yeah, and I'm done. And now I will just let it rest for about 3 days before I do anything with it. Thank you for watching, and make sure to see my number 2 video and my number 3 video. Bye.